I will never forget the night when everything changed. Chidi fell to the ground, clutching his stomach in pain. It was the most unsettling thing I had ever seen. In our small Nigerian village, everyone knew everyone. I am Amora, a simple woman who works in the market. My friend, Chidi, was a respected trader. He was married to Ifeoma, a woman known for her beauty and her fiery temper. Chidi was kind and often helped others. He had a friend, Adis, who recently moved back to the village. Adis was cheerful and always had a smile for everyone. She and Chidi often spoke about trade and business. Ifeoma noticed and didn't like it. One day, Chidi helped Adis fix her market stall. Ifeoma saw them and her face darkened with anger. She became very quiet and stopped talking to Chidi. We all noticed the tension. A few days later, Chidi invited me and some friends for dinner. Ifeoma cooked a big meal. The food smelled good, but Ifeoma didn't look happy. She served the food, her hands shaking slightly. I felt uneasy but didn't say anything. As we ate, Chidi started to look unwell. He was sweating and his face turned pale. Suddenly, he groaned in pain and fell to the floor. Everyone panicked. We rushed him to the village healer. The healer said Chidi had been poisoned. My heart sank. Who would do such a thing? The village elders were called to investigate. They asked everyone questions. Ifeoma sat quietly, looking at the ground. When it was her turn to speak, her voice trembled. She tried to deny any wrongdoing, but there were whispers among us. I saw the elders exchange looks. They decided to search Ifeoma's kitchen. There, they found a hidden stash of bitter herbs, known to be poisonous if not prepared correctly. Ifeoma broke down and confessed. She thought Chidi was going to leave her for Adis. Her jealousy had driven her to this. Ifeoma was taken away by the elders for punishment. Chidi, though recovering, was deeply hurt. Adis stayed away, feeling guilty even though she had done nothing wrong. Our village was left in shock. The village was left in shock. Everyone whispered about Ifeoma's jealousy and the poison she used. It was hard to believe such a thing could happen here. Chidi's recovery was slow, and he stayed mostly in his hut, surrounded by worried family members. Days turned into weeks, and life in the village continued, but the atmosphere had changed. People were cautious, their trust shaken. I visited Chidi often, bringing him food and sitting with him. He looked sad and distant, the spark in his eyes gone. One evening, while I was with Chidi, he spoke softly, "Amora, I don't know how to move forward. I feel betrayed by the person I trusted the most." I didn't know what to say. How could someone heal from such a betrayal? "Chidi, you have friends who care about you. We will help you through this," I replied, hoping my words would bring some comfort. Meanwhile, Adi stayed away from the market. She felt the villagers' eyes on her, blaming her silently for what happened. One day, I decided to visit her. Her hut was quiet, and she looked surprised to see me. "Amora, why are you here?" Adis asked, her voice tinged with sorrow. "I came to see how you are." "This isn't your fault, Adis," I said firmly. "Chidi needs his friends, and so do you." Tears welled up in her eyes. "I feel so guilty, Amora. If I hadn't been so close to Chidi, maybe none of this would have happened." "Don't blame yourself," I insisted. We all saw how Ifeoma changed. Her jealousy was her own doing. As the days passed, the elders decided on Ifeoma's punishment. She was to leave the village for a time, to live with her family in a nearby village. It was a harsh punishment, but the elders believed it was necessary to restore peace. The day Ifeoma left, the village gathered to watch. Her head was bowed, and she didn't look at anyone. As she passed by Chidi's hut, I saw him watching from the window, a look of deep sadness on his face. life slowly began to return to normal. Chidi started visiting the market again, though he was quieter than before. Addis returned too, helping him with his trade. They were careful around each other, aware of the gossip, but they didn't let it stop them. One afternoon, as we sat by the river, Chidi spoke again. "I don't know if I can ever forgive Ifeoma, but I need to find a way to move on." "You will, Chidi," I said. "It will take time, but you have us. We'll support you." Our village learned a hard lesson about jealousy and trust. It would take time to heal, but we knew we had to stick together. Chidi and Addis were determined to rebuild their lives, and we were all there to help them. Chidi and Addis were determined to rebuild their lives, and we were all there to help them. Weeks passed, and the village slowly began to heal from the turmoil. Chidi's laughter started to return, albeit in small bursts, and Addis grew more confident in the market, supported by friends who assured her of her innocence.